The best advice I can give to somebody that's in prison right now: use your time wisely. Don't get caught up in the prison politics. Don't get caught up in the prison jailhouse nonsense, the mentality. Think about your future. It doesn't matter if you're doing 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Think about your future, because you're going to get out one day. Don't think about getting out 6 months before you get out. Prepare to get out. Getting out of prison is just half of the puzzle. What are you going to do when you get out? Now that's the key, because everybody can get out, but everybody's not staying out. One of the things that I did while I was incarcerated, I practiced getting out while I was there. And when I say practice getting out, the way I would talk to the staff, the way I would talk to administration would be the same way I would talk to a job interviewer, the same way I would talk to somebody if I was going into the bank to get a loan for my business, the same way I was trying to pitch a plan to somebody. I would learn on how to articulate what I was trying to do. I mean, you can't not do a lot of things that you do in the street with the same dialect as we use in the street. Yo, my man, yo, check this out, I want you. Can't do it, doesn't work. So I practiced getting out while I was in. A lot of the skills or a lot of the things that people can learn are right there at their disposal. How to be patient. That's one of the main things that you can pick up while you're in prison. And the thing about it is it's taught to you whether you're taking it in or not. You have to wait on child, you have to wait on the phone, you have to wait for a shower, you have to wait. Everything is a waiting process in prison. To get to prison, you gotta even wait. You're waiting in the bullpens, you're waiting to go to court. I mean, everything is a waiting process. So when you get out, you still have that same mindset. I can be patient. I'm gonna wait and let things flow and do what I need to do to build. I mean, one of the main entrepreneurial skills that a person should be trying to hone, pick up, or transfer from their lifestyle that they had before is presentation. Presentation is key. When I get on the train and I'm selling books, or I'm on the street selling books, I only have maybe a minute and a half window to get somebody's attention. People are moving. Their mind is going to 50,000 different directions. I got a minute and a half to 2 minutes to convince that person to pull $10 out of their pocket to give me for a book. So they're not buying the book, they're buying me. They're buying what I'm presenting, they're buying what I'm telling them, they're buying what I'm conveying to them. My presentation has to be on. My presentation has to be perfect. My presentation has to present it in a way where they feel they're getting something for their money. Your presentation has to be on point, but you also have to deliver. People have to know that they can depend on you. You know what I mean? And that's one of the keys that people have to work on. Discipline, dependability, being determined, and knowing that in the street, your word supposed to mean so much that it can mean life or death for you sometimes. So your word has to be as equally important when you're in the business world, because that could be the life or death of your business. That could be the life or death of your sale. That could be the life or death of your dependent ability to generate income. So you have to have the same emphasis on your word when you're in the street as when you're doing business. So when I shake your hand and say, I'm going to meet you on Friday, we're going to do this deal, I expect you to be there on Friday. I don't expect you to be 10 minutes late. I don't expect you to tell me you couldn't find your Metro card, your keys was lost. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that you're on time and you're ready to do the job. That's what it's about, knowing that people can depend on you. And those are the type of things that you have to start. If you don't have that, or if that's one of your weaknesses now, you need to start working on that right now. Being able to accept starting all over again, being able to accept starting at the bottom and not feeling inferior because you have to start at the bottom or you have to work a minimum wage job. Me personally, I would pick up cans on the street before I'll go back to prison. But to see the type of person that I am and the type of determination drive that I have, that I know that I won't be picking up cans forever. But those cans have a means to an end. You know what I'm saying? So these are the type of things that people have to understand, that you have to have a plan. That's one of the main things too. You have to have a plan. You can't start planning when you get out. You have to have a plan on the way out. And you have to have 2 or 3 plans. Plan A, plan B, plan C. So once one doesn't go in a direction that you thought or should or hoped it would go in, you always have an alternative. So your plan got to be flexible. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to adjust. The biggest challenge that I faced as I was making my transition from the negative mindset that I had to want to do something positive was letting go of what I had just become what I had become. You know what I mean? I became a street celebrity. I became very respected in the hood and everything like that. And, you know, just wanting to be myself again. That was the biggest challenge. And, you know, knowing that I would lose people in the process, that I would lose people that really didn't really matter, to be honest with you, because they didn't really have my best interest at heart anyway. So and somebody really cares about you, they want to see you change. They don't want to see you be the same person. So the biggest challenge for me was just letting go of that lifestyle and embracing a new lifestyle, having people want to believe in me again. That was the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge of getting out of prison was just staying true to who I was. There's so much temptation when you get out. You're back in the game now, so different things are going to be coming at you. I mean, it's so easy to fall back into the same mindset which you're comfortable in that comfortable zone. So the biggest challenge for me was to stay focused and know that what I was doing was going to pay off in the long run. So that was the biggest challenge, and because I had a good support system, it wasn't as challenging as it could have been. When I was in prison, you had guys that had been in there for 10, 15 years already, and it was like 2,000, maybe 2 or 3, and they're still talking about what they did in the 80s and the early 90s, and I'm saying, my man, let it go. You know, I drove this car and I had this girl, and I'm like, they don't make those cars no more, and she's fat and she got married and she got 3 kids, so you can't live in the past. Let's live in the present and prepare for the future. That's what it's about. Living in the present, preparing in the future. Remembering where you came from, where you are, and where you want to go. That's the most important lessons that I would advise for somebody that's in prison. And don't take freedom for granted ever again.